Good morning to you. It is 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. It is February the 6th. Rise and shine, my friends. This is Coffee Talk. Get together 7 days a week. Have done so for years. Should hopefully do so for years. I'm WESH 2 meteorologist Eric Burris, and there's a lot to talk about in the world of weather. First off, it's turning straight up windy. So, of course, let's go fly Chopper 2 in the wind. Yeah, I mean, we're within wind limits, but yeah, we're going to be up there in the helicopter today talking about this wind. That's the first story. No matter where in Central Florida you are, you're going to notice the wind. Then we're starting to see it, more and more sunshine returning to Central Florida. Gotta love that. It's going to be an action-packed coffee talk this morning. But first, let's just kind of get a lay of the land. Let's take a live look outside. This is our Tower Cam network. Oh, is that as beautiful as can be in Tavares. Let's take you down to Port Canaveral, Brevard County. This is our weather stem camera. Lots of clouds. You can't really see it, but the wave action is really picking up. Let me take you to the weather stem camera over in Volusia County. This is over in Daytona Beach beachside, and you can see the rough wave action coming on in. And then this is a shot over in Flagler County in Marineland, and this, pay attention if you can to that bottom corner. And what we're noticing is like these breaking waves are crashing up on the shoreline there, right? Tides notwithstanding, it just kind of lets you know we've got some gusty winds driving that wind and that wave action ashore. First warning, live Doppler radar showing some rains off the shoreline there. Thankfully not bothering us at all. But there's definitely some rainfall off the shoreline. Now, that said, the rains are all associated with this storm system. Let me bring it full screen for you. There's the storm system itself, and you can kind of see that area of low pressure off the East Coast. That area of low pressure continuing to really throw in some wind action. As a matter of fact, let me see here. Of course, I don't have it preloaded. This is why Coffee Talk isn't what they would call professional production. There it is. All right, live winds around Central Florida already running in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range with gusts. Here's peak gusts so far today. I'm telling you, these are going to climb for sure. 20 to 30 miles per hour already. So, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So keep that in mind. All right, forecast today. Bottom of your screen, winds north 20 to 30 with higher gusts, certainly around Central Florida. Partly cloudy skies. It's going to be a nice day. Other than that, temperatures climbing. Upper 50s, 11 o'clock. Lower 60s by 1. And the mid 60s by 3 p.m. So, yes. Good times. It's going to be a windy day, but it'll be a beautiful day. It's going to be a cool day. So I've got the warmer clothing on, certainly to be prepared for it. But let's just take a moment and talk about the beach conditions, okay? Straight up dangerous. High surf advisories. We've got gale warnings posted. Life-threatening rip currents. Listen, I don't reckon many people are going to be wanting to go into the water. Water temperatures are in the 60s, for goodness sake. This time of year, I don't even do the beach boating forecast in my forecasts. But in this case, let's just go over it, right? Winds running 30 to 40 at the beach. Whoa. Surf running 8 to 12 feet. Water temperatures are in the 60s. So, I don't suspect that many people are going to be wanting to get in. Now, that said, surfers throw on the wetsuits and yada yada. 9 to 15 foot breaking waves. All right. And we were just looking at, let me go back to that Flagler camera for a moment. The big surf. Let's go to Volusia County, right? The big surf. We're not quite to low tide, but we're definitely on a falling tide. Low tide happens around 11 o'clock this morning. What will be interesting, I plan on, so the plan is for me to be in Chopper 2 today for the noon and for the 5. I may ask to get up there a little early just to be in position around that high tide at 446. Because high tide is when you're going to be talking about the breaking waves over seawalls, etc., etc., etc. Scott says, I went surfing 2 weeks ago, and not quite, but we're definitely skinned it. No wetsuit, 62 degrees. Good gravy. Just be safe, man. I mean, this is a kind of situation, straight up life-threatening conditions for folks that are anything but expert swimmers. And even expert swimmers, you're going to be battling the heck out of it, okay? All right, so let's talk about the breaking wave action these next couple of days. So today, definitely. Tomorrow, definitely the higher levels, right? Looking ahead to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, thankfully, things are going to start to come down a little bit. Brian says, if you've never been there when the surf is up, it's cool to see. Hopefully there won't be too much damage. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see until you start applying the idea of this is people's lives, and that's the worry, right? This is impacting people, and that's what I would agree. Like, it's cool to see, but you don't love that. So high surf advisory posted. We've got, coastal flood advisory because high tide, breaking waves, could be talking about some subtle inundation. Of course, there's wind advisories around our coastal communities. We've got gale warnings posted throughout the shorelines. So yeah, I mean, it's not great. So why? What's going on? We've got this storm system that yesterday into today. Oh, good gravy. This graphic needs to be redone. Hold on a second. Stand by. From Monday to Tuesday. No, it needs to be Tuesday current time to Tuesday 11 p.m. All right. Stand by. Let me just fix this graphic. Did you know we draw all these by hand? Did you know that? I bet you didn't. All right, that's way better. Okay. Do that, do that, do that, do that. Okay. There we go. Okay. As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by a poorly built graphic. So we've got this storm system east of us, throwing a ton of wave action, a ton of wind action. And even as it evolves and kind of pulls away, we're talking about those massive winds, those big coastal concerns, right? So there's that. But as that pulls away, the good news is we turn sunny. Like, tomorrow's going to be gorgeous for us. Thursday's going to be gorgeous for us. Even Friday is looking gorgeous. So we've got a gorgeous stretch of weather. Love that. Take a look at Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast. This is great, right? And by the way, notice those temperatures this week, mid to late week, into the upper range of the 70s. We're getting to 80 degrees there, Fredo. 80 degrees. If you get that reference, I'll give you a hug. Love it. Love that. Almost pool weather. Almost. Monday, we do look into a couple of showers kind of moving in. And then, of course, we know around the 18th through the 20th, there should be some sort of a piece of the weather pattern that cycles through and causes some interest. We'll just say that. Brian says, every day hurricane season is looking more and more challenging. Ain't that the truth? Now we all know the things you have taught us. Yes. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting hurricane season. Yep. Figures the 18th is a Daytona 500. Well, we'll see how it plays out. Patty says, no way, wetsuit for me. A shorty at 75, full suit below 70. Yeah. I would say a full suit for me. I'm a wimpy butt, though. Like, I don't want to do anything below 80 degrees. When I turn on my pool heater for spring and for late fall, that puppy's set to 87. And I put the cover on it to keep it insulated. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. So windy. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a look at Futurecast. I'm going to throw on the winds. Give me a minute. Got to find the right one. Here we are. All right, so let's look at Futurecast with wins. Priscilla's asking, did anyone find a date for the first coffee talk? Oh, yeah, I didn't. If you want to, I encourage it. I'd love to know the anniversary date. All right, so here's Futurecast. Yeah, I like bathwater for the pool for sure. All right, so here's Futurecast for today. You've got the rain off the East Coast. We already know that. But watch how, and these are gust speeds, right? But, 10:30, 11 o'clock, like it's gusty. Gusting to almost 40 there in Titusville. 25 in Orlando. At least the sun will be shining. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. A couple of clouds rolling in around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Gusting 30 to near 40, though, through the day today. Yeah. Still within limits of Chopper 2. Chopper Dan Biscotti and I were chatting this morning. Yeah. And then into tonight, into tomorrow. Notice overnight staying quite breezy. Here's our Wednesday morning, 15 to 20, so staying gusty. Same thing through Wednesday, right? And then looking ahead to like Thursday and so on, it will little bit by little bit quiet down. So that's where we're at, my friends. The sun makes it bearable. I would agree with that. Yep. Hold on your hats, indeed. Yep. Nobody got the reference. It's 80 degrees, Fredo. 80 degrees. Nobody got the reference. All right. So a little windy today. Beautiful sunshine, though, the next couple of days. And yeah, as Priscilla said, hot weather around the corner. Listen, we're only a couple of weeks away. We were talking about it, but like, shameless plug, we're only a couple of weeks away from the release of the 2024 hurricane season forecast. I'm working on it. Yeah. It's not The Godfather. But yeah. What are the hot spots be? When will they be? All of this. It'll be fun to watch. Nope. It won't be fun to watch. How will this affect the crew splashing down tonight? I mean, where are they So, truth be told, I haven't paid much attention. Where are they splashing down? Because to me, this weather looks quite crummy for splashdown and recovery. At least on the Atlantic side. I haven't paid any attention to it, so forgive me. I do feel like sometimes I'm great, sometimes I'm not great. I was going to say, and I don't know that they undocked. I feel like this is not the weather for undocking. Right? Can we cancel hurricane season this year? I was going to say, so Fran says it's scrub for today. I'm like, I haven't been paying attention, but like this looks crappy for it. And then there was the launch overnight that was supposed to happen. Lots and lots and lots of wind. It's still there. Yeah. Yeah, they canceled the undocking. Yeah, it's not a lot, too much wind. Yeah. Jeannie says, non-hurricane season is flying by. Dude, I know. So, there you go. Now, let's do this. I haven't checked this morning, but let's dial in and look at the GFS because we know, according to our cycling weather pattern, that we should by about the 18th. So there's this low, like a pretty potent low. That moves out. High pressure builds in. There's that Sunday into Monday rain chance we saw on the 7-day. There's your lowered pressure there. Frontal boundary. 16th. Look at that. You see that? That is the part of we've been talking about that for weeks. There's your Gulf low around the 16th, 17th, 18th. Look at that. Yeah. We've been talking about that before before it was even in GFS range. So there you go. And then, yeah, I mean, this thing is a beast of a low, though. Beast of a low. A stupid low pressure. What's interesting, and I thought that this was an interesting stat. So the pressure at my house yesterday, let me pull up my Tempest. So the pressure at my house yesterday, history, hold on. It's loading, it's loading. It's refreshing and it's taking forever. Let me quit the app and relaunch the app. All right, so the history at my house, as it refreshes it, what I was trying to say, and I was going to give you some straight numbers, but the Tempest app is getting grumpy and slow. Okay. Let's go to yesterday. So yesterday's low pressure. Interesting. There it is. Okay. The pressure in my house got down to 29.51 inches of mercury. 29.51 inches of mercury yesterday. The all-time low pressure was 29.24, and that happened during Nicole. So the reason I point that out, that I just think it's kind of interesting, is, we were almost to like a hurricane pressure. Like, we were at a genuine tropical storm type pressure yesterday. Your head hurt. Did your body hurt? My body was kind of not feeling great yesterday. Just like joints hurt and all that, headache. It was the lower pressure. So anyway, kind of interesting how that plays out. Deborah says, please no rain on the 18th. That's the Daytona 500. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the model. All right. And let's just dial around and see. So that's pressure, but we can actually go to like 6-hour precipitation. And the 18th, that's like, there's race time. So for right now, it looks like it's wanting to keep the showers off the shoreline. So that's good. But the storm system itself is going to be more of a like Friday the 16th into Saturday the 17th, at least as of right now, which, by the way, is on exactly a 47-day cycle if that plays out that way. So that would play out perfectly, which dials into this year's cycle duration. Yes, Gina. Oh my God, Gina got it. Gina got the reference. Gina got the reference. It's 80 degrees, Fredo. 80 degrees. Gina says, it's 80 degrees, Fredo. Was an Apollo 13 reference, yes? Super obscure, super random. Gina, hug. How the heck? Impressive. Stephanie says, thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes. It's your birthday? Happy birthday, Steph said. I said it a while ago. All right, Steph Belvins. I didn't see your comment. Wendy, Google. The Google machine. The Google machine. Oh, well. Oh, man. Lucas, does El Nino weather pattern affect our temperature for the year? It shifts around the jet stream, so it throws more storm systems our direction, that sort of thing. So it kind of plays around with everything, but you can't say like this is because of that, because we're still in winter, right? Like, we're going to have colder days, we're going to have warmer days. By the way, interesting little stat that I just noticed, like eyeballing, hold on, wrong source. Eyeballing our 7-day forecast here, our average high has climbed. Couple of days ago, it was 72. We're now at 74. Did you notice that? I just did. And when we look at the month of February, by the way, this is moving month. This is where our average temperatures really do start to climb. The beginning of the month, the average high was 73. It's 74 now. By the end of the month, our average high is 77. So cool season is kind of fading away. We're still going to have those cool fronts, of course. And I got married. I'll tell you, I got married in March, and there's a reason for that. Like, I know the weather. Kellyanne Class is getting married in August. Don't really know what she's thinking there, but we'll do, it's okay. Felt it last week. I was really under the weather. I mean, the pressure yesterday significantly lower than last week. Yeah. Significantly lower. Something else. I'm definitely ready for the end of this cold. Uh-oh. Listen, COVID's been going around. You remember when I was feeling under the weather? I didn't come out and say it, but I had COVID. So good times. Definitely hanging in bed. And I feel like almost everybody in my family has had COVID here in the last couple of months at one point or another. Yeah. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Look at that 7-day forecast. You can tell spring is right around the corner, my friends. Love that. Laura says our entire family's been sick the last 2 weeks. There's just a lot going around, man. It's just a lot going around. Debbie says, I feel the pressure today. Yeah. Pushing down on you, pushing down on me. Under pressure. Susie, I had it at the same time as me. Susie had it at the same time as me. Hey, we're both still here, so grateful for that. Carmen says, got back from Disney on Friday, and now I have COVID. Ay, Gewalt. Marcia, I have COVID. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Eric, this was my first one too horrible. This was my first one too horrible, but made it through too. I'm careful. My daughter came home from school. I told her to take the test. She didn't. So thanks for sharing. I'll tell you this. Some of my coworkers, I'm not going to tell you who, but there's one coworker in particular that is very cognizant of cleaning. And I told this person, as much as I try to clean, the other day, and I think I've told you all this, the other day, Alexander, my youngest son, decided to take his shoe, and lick the bottom of it. And I'm just like, I could clean all I want, but this boy is just a little petri dish, And to me, that's one of those parenting things that I'm like, ugh. I try so hard to not get sick, and I feel like in this parenting world, I'm just vulnerable. I'm just vulnerable. Lucas says on YouTube, not too long from now, there will be 5,000 people in Coffee Talk awaiting hurricane information. Ugh, not ready. Yeah. I'm getting ready. One of the things, I'll show you, one of the things I was working on yesterday, for example, and it's funny, Manolfi was like, what are you working on, bada bing? Hold on a second. He's like, what are you working on, bada bing? And what I was doing, and I'll just show you, I was graphing out cycle durations to try and, triple check. Of course, it doesn't come into focus because why would it? But I was trying to graph cycle durations to kind of just zero in on, 45, 46, 47, just to kind of zero in on the exact cycle duration we're going to use. I got to tell you, I like 47. I like 48. I kind of like 48 better than 47. So as I'm, I've got the forecast, but there's some fine tuning that may need to be. So this is what I was working on yesterday. Of course, it's not focusing, so that, I could pull it up, but anyway. So I'm not ready for hurricane season, but I am getting ready for the hurricane season forecast. And by the way, we're doing the Severe Weather Awareness Week. My day is Thursday. I'm doing pieces on, you guessed it, hurricanes. That's like my shtick. Good times. Oh, man. Just wait till the kids start school. Sickness every week or so. Well, Alexander's a daycare, Eric's an elementary school. But and the one thing I told my colleague is I'm just like, I just have to know I'm going to get stuff. And I'm going to try to stay healthy, but I'm going to get stuff. That's all it is. Mickey, we'll just call it 47.5 days. I know, right? Yeah, 47.5 days. All you can do. All you can do. Yeah. I was good at staying away from colds until I had little people, Jessica says on Facebook, that sneeze directly into your eyeballs. Right? They don't get it, and how can you expect them to get it? Jessica Downey on Facebook, mom of 2 boys, I get it. Oh, man, right? Good night. All right, so just a reminder as we're talking about hurricane season, I know it's early, but coming up on March the 1st. Now, Jeremy, hold on one second. Jeremy wanted to do a little preview today. I'm not going to let you go until we figure this out. We're going to do a little preview. I'm waiting. The little 3 dots. I'm waiting. If he says he's good, we're going to do a 10 a.m. update today. If he says he's good, I'm waiting. I said, would that work? Why? What is he typing? We had talked about this, doing a quick update at 10 a.m. today, and I hadn't mentioned it until I heard from him, so hold on. Boy, this boy texts slower than I could probably be ready. Okay. Let's do it. All right, 10 a.m. today. 10 a.m. today, we'll do a quick, eyeball of things. All right? 10 a.m. today. All right, well, now that we're doing this, I guess I need to get ready for that. All right, 10 a.m. today. We'll chat. Sound good? He needs pen and paper. Exactly, Laura. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day, everybody. I'll see you at 10 a.m. to preview. I'm not telling you hotspots. But we'll at least discuss some of the things. A behind the curtains preview. It's going to be rough as heck because I've got only a little bit of time to prep for it. 10 a.m. today. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Bye, y'all. See you at 10.